Today, we are going to continue our journey into the magical and insane world of Fairy Tail. Last video, we recapped the second, third, and part of the fourth season, and now we're going to cover two more very special and important arcs of Fairy Tail. Beware the spoilers, and let's jump right into it. Let's get it. The X791 arc. 7 years have passed since the catastrophic destruction of Tenro Island. Fairy Tail, a shell of what it used to be, with a number of new members and Mikau, Romeo's father, replacing Makarov. Memories of the day Acnologia decimated Tenro Island still flood through the tavern. Mikau, overcome with emotion, begins to cry, lamenting how Romeo hadn't smiled since that tragic day. Their melancholy was interrupted by the dramatic arrival of Blue Pegasus on the airship Christina. Ichiya, Vandalay, Kotobuki, and the Trimans descended, patronizing Lackey before revealing they had detected something unusual in the Etherno waters. Ichiya delivered the startling news that Tenro Island might actually still exist out there. Spurred by this revelation, the guild quickly organized a search party composed of Biska, Alzak, Max, Warren, Jet, and Droy. They ventured into the Ether Nano waters, hoping to locate their missing companions. Despite their efforts, the island remained elusive and the group's optimism waned. Just as despair threatened to take hold, they spotted a girl standing on the ocean's surface. She raised both hands, causing the waters to churn, and revealed Tenro Island, encapsulated in a protective barrier covered with the Fairy Tail insignia. The girl led the search party to the island where they found Natsu Dragneel unconscious and buried under debris. Back at the guild, Mikau questioned Romeo about his decision to stay behind. Romeo expressed skepticism about the survival of their friends, given the 7 years since they were last seen. Their discussion was cut short by another intrusion from Twilight Ogre members. Teobolt, one of their members, belittled the guild, prompting Romeo to demonstrate his newfound fire magic. However, Teobolt easily extinguished Romeo's flames and was preparing to strike him. However, a powerful kick sends Teobolt flying, and the missing S-Class Mage promotion trial candidates from Fairy Tail reappear at the guild, revealing that they have not aged a day since their disappearance. Fairy Tail's current members overwhelmed with joy and tears of happiness. The mysterious girl who had led the search party was revealed to be Mavis Vermilion, the first guild master of Fairy Tail. She explained that their faith and bonds had activated Fairy Sphere, a powerful defense magic that had protected them from Acnologia's attack by putting them in a protective barrier stasis for 7 years. Makarov praised Mavis and reassured the guild of their miraculous survival. Natsu, moved by the sight of Romeo all grown up, welcomed him back with a smile that he hadn't seen in years. The guild celebrated their reunion with a 3-day party filled with revelations. Natsu learned about Romeo's new fire abilities, honed with lessons from Totomaru, a former Phantom Lord member. Gajeel shared in the amusement, while Mikau offered Makarov his position as Guildmaster, which Makarov declined, letting Mikau keep the title. Urza was stunned to learn of Biska and Alzak's marriage and their daughter, Asuka, and Carla disapproved of the more humanoid depictions of the Exceeds. Members of Lamia Scale visited, revealing their rise to the second strongest guild in Fior and their role in searching for Tenro Island. Lion, smitten with Juvia, complicated the guild's love dynamics, while Gildarts inquired about his connection to Kana. Lucy, reflecting on the hardships of the past 7 years, returned to her old residence, only to be met with a hefty rent demand from her landlady. Unable to pay, she contemplated her next steps, drawing parallels to her strained relationship with her late father, Jude Hartfilia. With Natsu and happy support, she visited her father's grave, coming to terms with her feelings and finding solace in a heartfelt letter he had left for her. Meanwhile, Makarov, Urza, and Mira Jane confronted Twilight Ogre's leader, Bana Boaster, about their debt. Makarov assured him that Fairy Tail would repay not just their monetary debt, but the pain inflicted over the years as well. They decisively trashed Twilight Ogre's guild, reasserting Fairy Tail's dominance. As the guild continued to rebuild and reunite, Lucy discovered gifts her father had sent her every year on her birthday, leading to a tearful realization of their mutual but unspoken love. Natsu and Happy, always by her side, invited her on a new job, symbolizing the guild's enduring spirit and return. In the end, despite the lost years and changing times, Fairy Tail's hearts remained unbroken, their bond stronger than ever as they face a future full of hope and camaraderie. The key of the Starry Sky arc. As an old man awakes from a dream about a burning church and a mechanical bear speaking ominous words, a girl with a case is later seen on a train. At the Magic Council headquarters, Lahar and Grand Doma discuss church destructions and task Lahar with finding the culprit. In the Fairy Tale Guild, Lucy reads about the church bombings. Romeo introduces Lucy to a visitor, the girl from the train, who tearfully reveals herself as Michelle Lobster, claiming to be Lucy's younger sister. Despite seeming older, this is attributed to the events of Tenro Island and the 7-year time skip. Michelle brings a memento from Lucy's father, a strange mechanical gear wrapped in bandages that terrifies Carla. Lucy invites Michelle to live with her, and they discuss the memento. Natsu then invites Lucy on a mission to catch bandits, and despite Lucy's warnings, Michelle insists on joining. Urza explains a plan to capture the bandits, and Michelle takes an active role impressing everyone with her enthusiasm. The mission is a success, but back at the guild, a report is revealed about Michelle's family. Lahar then investigates a destroyed church and finds it puzzling. Michelle suggests officially requesting the guild to solve the mystery of the memento, and Lucy agrees. The gear then starts levitating with runes appearing on it, and despite Makarov's warning, Lucy is determined to solve her father's riddle. While investigating, Lucy refuses to join Urza and Gray on a job, leading Juvia to become jealous. Meanwhile, Natsu and Gajeel encounter Laxus and challenge him to a duel. Wendy convinces them to plan the event for the next day. The guild then plans a festival for the showdown, and Lucy asks Levi to help decipher the writing on the gear. Gray and Urza fight bandits and the Vanish brothers, recovering stolen gold. At the festival, Natsu and Gajeel enjoy themselves while Lucy and Levi work on the riddle. Suddenly, 3 mysterious individuals resembling Aeolus counterparts appear, demanding Lucy. However, Fairy Tale refuses, leading to a battle where the trio uses magic to incapacitate the guild members. Michelle claims to be Lucy to protect her, confusing the attackers. Lucy and Michelle then flee, pursued by Coco. They outwit her with the help of Virgo and continue running. The attackers, identified as the Legion Corps, pursue Lucy for her connection to the clock hand. Lucy decides to solve the mystery her father left her, despite the dangers. Meanwhile, Lucy and Michelle discover the clock hand's inscription and the connection to an ancient myth involving a pendulum clock. As the Legion Corps continues their pursuit, they attack the guild. Lucy, Natsu, and the others split into teams to find the clock parts. They face various challenges, including battles with golems and the Legion Corps members. Despite setbacks, Lucy remains determined to uncover her father's message and protect her friends from the impeding chaos. Dan notices Lucy hiding behind Michelle and declares their meeting is destined. Natsu then attacks Dan, but his strikes are deflected by Dan's shield, causing accidental destruction of the nearby ruins. The group then attempts to escape, but is stopped by Dan, who ignores their mission and starts fawning over Lucy. When Natsu attacks again, Dan tries to shrink him with his weapon, but ends up shrinking Lucy instead, who then demands to be returned to normal. Dan decides to keep her as a decoration on his armor. Meanwhile, Happy has grown significantly in size. Despite reminders of their mission from Coco and Happy, Dan and Natsu continue their battle. Lucy summons Sagittarius, but due to her shrunken size, he is ineffective and is dismissed. Michelle distracts Dan by proposing he marry Lucy in a holy crypt, while Romeo uses the opportunity to set off a smelly firework under Dan's armor. Amidst the chaos, Lucy is flung from Dan and caught by Happy, then restores Lucy to her normal size, but Happy remains huge. Elsewhere, Gajeel and his group are climbing a mountain, refusing to be carried by Panther Lily, who doesn't want to miss any clues. Urza's group is lost, with Kana noting they've been going in circles. Carla then suspects someone is playing tricks on them by altering the signs. Natsu telling Happy to stop flying to avoid damaging the ruins, so Dan returns Happy to normal size. Coco pursues the group to retrieve Lucy's book to find the clock piece faster, while Natsu confronts Dan. Lucy crashes into a statue, activating a trap that causes her and Coco to fall into a giant hole. They find themselves in an ossuary and decide to continue searching for the clock piece separately. Lucy and Coco discuss their motives for finding the clock parts, and Lucy shares her reasons, but Coco remains secretive. After narrowly escaping another trap thanks to Coco, they reach a dead end where Coco is knocked unconscious by a falling ceiling. Romeo and the others find them and continue their search, treating Coco's wounds when she awakens. Gajeel's group struggles to find the clock piece until they deduce it must be buried in the mountain. Samuel, an Exceed, confronts them, and Panther Lily fights him while Gajeel and the others dig and find the piece in ruins. They activate it by moving the clock hands, leading to a confrontation with a guardian statue. Despite initial setbacks, Gajeel and his team manage to destroy the statue's weak point and retrieve the clock part, sending Samuel flying in frustration. Elsewhere, Mira Jane's team retrieves another clock piece from a lake, but Hughes appears and snatches it away. She uses her command magic to manipulate Elfman and attack his sisters. Despite this, they manage to distract Dan long enough for Virgo to pop in and out. Kanaloa, controlled Byro, emerges, causing further chaos. Natsu then battles Byro and his squishy octopus companion, with Lucy summoning Aquarius to counter the Ink attacks. Byro reveals the Legion's goal to prevent the Infinity Clock from bringing about the end of the world. Despite their arguments, Fairy Tail and the Legion remain at odds. Back at the Fairy Tail Guild, Kinana collapses with a mysterious ailment, hearing voices. The guild members, particularly Mikao and Wakaba, are concerned but unsure of the cause. Meanwhile, in the underground ruins, Fairy Tail members continue their battle with Byro, who nullifies their magic. Coco intervenes, reminding Byro of the Legion's true purpose, but he responds violently. The Fairy Tail teams unite, each holding a clock part, and the clock pieces start glowing and assembling. The reborn Arashian Seas, the Dark Guild, appears and a fierce battle ensues. The guild, now stronger and more organized, attacks with powerful magic, easily overpowering Fairy Tail. As the battle rages on, it becomes clear that Arashian Seas intends to use the Infinity Clock for their own purpose. The Magic Council learns of their resurgence and plans to investigate further. Meanwhile, Fairy Tail, along with allies like Lion and Michelle, are rescued by Ichiya and taken to the Blue Pegasus building. The reborn Arashian Seas are using the Infinity Clock to destroy churches, while the Fairy Tail Guild discusses their next move to stop them. Lucy questions her father's connections to the clock, and Urza emphasizes the importance of retrieving it. The guild is then interrupted by the Thunder God tribe, who report sightings of Grim Reaper and Racer, confirming their involvement in the church destruction. Cobra and Angel attack a church using sound magic, while at the guild, Kanana exhibits strange behavior and carves ancient symbols into the wall, which Levi translates, revealing a connection to Will Neville, a powerful celestial mage. The Legion Corps introduce a new member, Gutman Kubrick, who possesses rupture magic. Meanwhile, LaPointe, another mage, blames the council for the Arashian Seas breakout. Kanana's strange behavior continues, hinting at an impending disaster. Lucy then researches Will Neville, finding his connection to the Zentopia Church, but lacking information about his disciples. Kana offers to use her fortune telling to locate the Arashian Seas and assigns teams to confront them. Natsu's team struggles against Jackpot's slot magic, while Wendy and Bixlow face Aragorn, who has lost his memory. Gajeel and Juvia encounter Gutman, and after a tough battle manage to defeat him. Gildarts and Lackey discovers the real Michelle Lobster, revealing that the Michelle with Lucy is actually a fake. The Magic Council then learns that Arashian Seas are targeting celestial spirit mages and not just churches. Natsu then defeats Jackpot and the Infinity Clock transforms into its true form, signaling a greater danger. Byro reveals that Lucy must be taken to Zentopia Cathedral, and a member of the reborn Arashian Seas, Clodoa, is revealed. Michelle is exposed as an imposter named Imitatia, setting the stage for the next confrontation. As blue lights illuminate the sky, Kanana finds Cobra injured after his battle with Urza. She asks if he has been calling her, surprising Cobra. He realizes Kanana is Cubelios in human form. Cobra explains he lost his eye for greater magic power and reveals his real name is Eric. Before their conversation continues, Lahar and Doranbolt arrive to arrest Cobra. Kanana, distraught, pleads for freedom. Cobra then agrees to go quietly, denying he was calling anyone. As he leaves, Cobra implies he did call her, and they smile at each other, acknowledging their bond. Natsu then wakes up atop Kanaloa, realizing the group is searching for Lucy. He detects her scent and flies off with a pink octopus. Spotting Lucy falling among blue stars, Natsu catches her before she hits the ground. Later, Lucy reflects on her adventure with the clock, repairs a painting in her father's mansion, and takes the Imitatia doll back to her apartment, planning to write a book about her journey. At the Zentopia Church, the Archbishop urges repentance and renewal. Mikao and Wakaba complain about being the only guild members at the ceremony. Meanwhile, the Legion Corps apologizes to Fairy Tail at their guild hall, leading to a celebration. Lahar informs Doranbolt that celestial spirit mages have awakened from the anti-link spell, but lost their powers. Relieved, Dornbold is happy. Fairy Tail survived the Infinity Clock events. Natsu and Dan then have an eating contest, leading to chaos as Sugar Boy tries to approach Gray, but is stopped by Juvia. Coco then apologizes to Panther Lily for her hostility, and they spar for fun. Gildarts and Byro bond over drinks, discussing the changes since the Infinity Clock events, and Lucy reconciles with Mary Hughes, who apologizes for her actions. Byro then reveals the Legion Corp's new mission to seal the Infinity Clock parts, and they bid farewell to the Fairy Tail Guild before leaving town. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to cast a spell on that like button, click subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon so you never miss another update. Until next time, peace.